So tell me if this sounds familiar. You've taken the personality quiz. You've done the strength assessments. You've journaled about what lights you up. You've made the vision board. You've followed the people online who seem to have it figured out. And you've watched their lives with this low grade longing that you can't quite shake. And you've landed on your passion. Maybe it's creativity. Maybe it's helping people. Maybe it's fitness or food or storytelling or building things. You know what it is. It feels real. It feels true. But here's the thing, and this is why I need to make this episode. Knowing your passion hasn't actually changed your life yet. You're still feeling restless. You still feel like something's missing. You still go through seasons where even your passion feels flat or forced, and you don't know why, because you did the work. You found the thing. What if the problem isn't that you haven't found your passion, but that passion alone was never going to be enough? What if what you've actually been searching for this whole time isn't passion at all? What if it's purpose? Welcome back to the podcast, Purpose Over Paycheck. I am your host, Coach Troy, Master Coach, Manifestation Mentor, and someone who spent a long time confusing passion for purpose and wondering why I still felt stuck. If you haven't listened to the last episode, go back and do that first, because in that episode we talked about the moment success stops being enough. It's called the emotional plateau, the hollow feeling after the achievement. And I ended that episode by saying that purpose is the next level of growth. So today I want to go even deeper, because before you can step into your purpose, you have to understand what purpose actually is and what it isn't. And the biggest confusion I see over and over again is people treating passion and purpose like they're the damn same thing. But friend, they're not. They're related, they can coexist, but they are fundamentally different. And if you don't understand the difference, you'll keep chasing the feeling of passion and wonder why it never makes your life feel stable, meaningful, and fully alive. So today we're going there. We're going to talk about the difference between passion and purpose. So, let's get into it. I want to start by giving passion its flowers, because passion is real and it matters, and I don't want you to walk away from this episode thinking I'm anti-passion, because I'm not. Passion is energy. That's the best one-word definition I found. It's the thing that makes you lose track of time. It's the topic you can talk about for 3 hours without looking at your phone. It's the activity that makes you feel alive in your body, present, excited, lit up. Passion is also deeply emotional. It tends to be tied into what feels good, what energizes you, what brings you joy in the moment. And then there's nothing wrong with that. Joy is not a small thing. Energy is not a small thing. But here's what nobody tells you about passion. Passion is a feeling. A feeling are not always reliable guides for your life's direction. Passion fluctuates. There are days I'm on fire about coaching, and days where it feels hard and heavy and I have to push through. There are days I'm deeply excited about creating content, and days where I stare at a blank screen and nothing comes. If I were running on my life purely on passion, I would quit on the hard days because the energy isn't always there. And this is one of the quiet failures of the follow your passion advice. It implies that if it's really your passion, it's always going to feel good. And when it stops feeling good, people think, maybe this isn't really my passion anymore. Maybe I chose wrong. Maybe I need to find something different. And so they go back to the quiz, back to the vision board, back to the cycle. But they haven't found a new passion. They've discovered that passion alone isn't a foundation, it's a spark. And sparks need something to burn on. Purpose is what it burns on. Purpose is a word that gets thrown around a lot. And I want to be really precise about what I mean when I say it, because I think the word has gotten a little fluffy over time. Purpose is not a feeling. Purpose is a responsibility. Let me say it again, because I really I really want it to land. Purpose is not a feeling. Purpose is a responsibility. It is the thing you are here to do, to be, to offer. Not because it always feels amazing, but because it's yours. It's the role that keeps calling you even when you try to ignore it. It's the thing that when you're not doing it creates a specific kind of ache. Not sadness exactly, more like misalignment. Like you're off course. And here's why I use the word responsibility deliberately. Because I think it's more honest than the words we usually use. Calling, mission, destiny. Those words are beautiful, but they can also feel abstract and far away. Responsibility is immediate. Responsibility means this is mine to carry. This is mine to show up for. This is mine to do something with. When I think about my purpose, which is to help people step into the fullest versions of themselves or who they are, to coach them from the inside out, to help them bridge between where they are and who they're becoming, it's not always a feeling. Some days it's a commitment. Some days it's a discipline. Some days I show up not because I'm fired up, but because I know what it's time for or what I'm here for. That's purpose. It doesn't always feel like passion, but it always feels like truth. And the stability that comes from living your purpose, that is something passion alone can never give you. I want to talk about something that doesn't get said enough in the purpose conversation, and it's this. Purpose often feels heavier than passion, and that heaviness is not a sign that you've got it wrong. When passion shows up, it usually feels light, effortlessly, exciting. You want to do the thing, the energy carries you. Now, when purpose shows up, especially in its early stage, it can feel almost the opposite. It feels serious. It feels large. It feels like something that matters in a way that's almost uncomfortable to hold. I remember the first time I really sat with the idea that I was here to help people transform their lives. Not as a nice idea, but as a real actual responsibility. My first response wasn't excitement. It was always something closer to fear. Who am I to do this? Am I enough for this? What if I get it wrong? That fear, that's the weight of purpose. And the reason it feels heavy is because it's real. It's not abstract. It actually affects people. It actually matters. And anything that actually matters carries weight. Passion is often self-oriented. It's about what lights you up. What feels good to you? What energizes your spirit? And again, that's not a criticism. That's just the nature of it. But purpose is another oriented. Purpose asks, what is the impact of my presence? Who needs what I carry? What changes in the world because I show up? And when you start asking those questions seriously, the stakes go up. The heaviness in the stakes, and the stakes are there because purpose is real. So, if you've been waiting for your purpose to feel as light and easy as your passion, I want to gently tell you that might not be what purpose feels like. It might feel more like a call you can't unhear, a responsibility you can't put down, something you know is yours, even on the days it scares you. That's not a red flag, that's a signal. Let me show you what I mean structurally, because I think this is where the real light bulb goes off for people. Passion on its own creates momentum, but momentum without direction is just motion. You can be moving fast and still be going in circles. Purpose creates direction. It gives the momentum somewhere to go. Here's an analogy I love. Think about a river. A river is full of energy, constantly moving, constantly alive. But a river without banks, that's a flood. It spreads in every direction, loses force, and eventually just soaks into the ground. The banks of the river are purpose. They don't stop the water from flowing. They give it somewhere powerful to go. They focus the energy. They turn motion into momentum with direction. When you're living from passion alone, you might find yourself doing a lot. creating, exploring, trying things, but feeling like you've never quite get traction. You pour your energy in, but it disappears or it disperses. You can't figure out why nothing is sticking. That's the flood. Energy without banks. When you anchor the same passion inside a clear sense of purpose, something shifts. You stop chasing every shiny thing. You get selective. You make choices or decisions faster because you have a filler. Does this align with me, what I'm here to do? If yes, move on. If no, you pass. Purpose also creates stability across time, and this is something I think that's profoundly underrated. Passion will ebb and flow. There will be seasons where you feel lit up and seasons where you feel dry. If passion is the only thing holding your ship together, those dry seasons will wreck you. But purpose holds steady. Your purpose doesn't change because you had a bad month. Your responsibility doesn't disappear because the energy dipped. Purpose is the keel of the ship, the deep part underneath that keeps you from capsizing when the water gets rough. Passion gets you started. Purpose keeps you going. And when you have both passion inside purpose, energy inside direction, that's when your life starts to feel like it's actually moving somewhere, not just moving, going somewhere. Let me make this concrete because I think it's easy for the conversation to stay theoretical, and I don't want that. Here's what the passion purpose confusion looks like in real life. You're passionate about fitness. You love the feeling of a great workout. You love the transformation, the community, the energy. So you decide to become a personal trainer. And for a while, it's amazing. You're doing the thing you love. But 6 months in, you're burned out. The early morning clients are exhausting. The business side of it, the marketing, the scheduling, the admin, feels like it's sucking the joy out of something that used to be pure. You start wondering if you made a mistake. Here's what might actually be happening. Your passion is fitness, but your purpose might be transformation. The experience of helping someone fundamentally change how you see themselves, how they move through the world, what they believe they're capable of. Now, fitness is the vehicle, transformation is the destination. And if you only fell in love with the vehicle, the day you have to change vehicles, it's going to feel like a loss. But if you're oriented toward the destination, transformation now, you can show up for that through multiple vehicles coaching, speaking, writing, leading. The passion might shift, the purpose stays. I see this in my own story. I'm passionate about a lot of things. I love teaching, I love creativity, I love the paranormal, I love a good nerdy deep dive, I love music, I love adventures with Cody. Those things light me up because they're real. But my purpose is not any one of those things. My purpose is to be a mirror for people, to help them see themselves clearly, to call out the greatness they've been talking themselves out of, to walk with people through the kind of transformation that changes not just what they do, but who they are. Every passion I have serves that purpose in different ways. But if I build my whole identity around one passion and it dried up for a season, my purpose wouldn't go anywhere. It would still be here, it would still be there, waiting, ready. Now that's the difference. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Okay, so we've established the difference. Passion is energy, purpose is responsibility. Passion fluctuates, purpose holds steady. Passion is the spark, purpose is what it burns on. Now, the question you're probably asking is okay, Troy, how do I actually find my purpose? How do I identify my deeper role in the world? I'm going to give you 3 questions, and I want you to sit with these, not sprint through them. These are journaling questions, meditation questions, walking questions. Let them breathe. Question 1. What problem in the world generally breaks your heart? Not what annoys you, not what you think is inconvenient. What breaks your heart? What injustice, what struggle, what human experience do you look at and feel something deep in your chest, something that says, this should not be this way? Because purpose is almost always located at the intersection of your capacity and someone else's need. The thing that breaks my heart is often pointing directly at the thing you're equipped to help fix. Okay, question number 2. What do people consistently come to you for, even when you're not offering it? This one is powerful because purpose is often most visible to the people around us before it's visible to us. If friends always call you when they're in crisis, maybe your purpose involves being a stabilizing presence. If a stranger opens up to you in the line at the grocery store, maybe your purpose involves creating safe space for people to be seen. What do people seek from you before you've even hung out a shingle? And question 3. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? And if one would ever know you did it? Notice I added that second part because a lot of people answer the first part and they're still performing for an audience. Strip the audience away. If nobody ever knew, no Instagram post, no recognition, no applause, what would you still do? What would still matter? That thing, the thing you do in the dark, for nobody, for nothing, that's closed to your purpose. Because purpose doesn't need an audience to feel real. Purpose feels like truth, whether anyone's watching or not. So take these 3 questions into your week. Write your answers down and pay attention to what patterns emerge because your purpose isn't hidden from you. It's been showing up your whole life. You just might not have had the language for it yet. So I want to close with this. The world needs more people living on purpose, not just on passion. And I say that not to diminish passion, but because I've seen what happens to people when they find the deeper thing, when they stop chasing the feeling and start honoring the responsibility. They get quieter in a good way. They stop being pulled into 15 directions. They stop needing external validation to feel like they're on the right track. Because they know. The knowing is internal, and that's knowing. That's what purpose gives you that passion alone will never will. So here's your activation for this week. Take those 3 questions I gave you and spend at least 20 minutes with each one. Not Googling, not podcasting, just you, a pen, and some honesty. And if you're someone who's ready to go deeper, who's ready to have a real conversation about what your purpose actually is and how to start building life around it, I want to talk with you. That's exactly what I do in my one-on-one coaching work. The link is in the show notes, my friend. Because here's the truth. Your passion is a gift, but your purpose is your assignment. And the world is waiting on you to take it seriously. Please make sure you're following the podcast. Please make sure that you've rated it, given us some feedback by giving us some comments. So that way we can share this out with more people. If this episode connected with you, let me know. Let me know that this episode connected with you, and also share it out with someone who needs to hear this, because by you sharing it out, you are helping others understand and discover their purpose over their passion and bringing it in, because you never know what life you may change, right? All right, friend. I'm Coach Troy. This is Purpose Over Paycheck Podcast. This is the end of our episode, and it's a wrap. And guess what, my friend? That's right. I will see you on the next episode.